Hi, my name is David Chartrand. I'm the Métis Minister for the Métis National Council on Veterans Affairs. And the video you're about to see, I think, is one that we've been waiting for some time to take, I think, 75 years, my friends. We've been waiting for that time where our veterans were not treated fairly, and discrimination and systemic discrimination was very open against our people back in that era in 1945. So I believe that many of our veterans today are so thankful of what we were able to achieve. I'm very proud of the work that's been accomplished by so many, and the video will display to you the steps that are taking place from one, the ongoing settlement of living veterans right now. Second step you'll hear about it is now dealing with the spouses of those veterans that have died on January 1st, 2016 forward. You'll also hear soon another message that's coming out where we're contemplating looking at giving all living spouses of World War II veterans death compensation as their veterans would have received. That's being worked on right now, but there's no policy set on that. But the last part is consultations. You'll hear about that in the video. So I hope you enjoy the video, and I hope you take that as part of a message you can take back to all those families who have been affected as World War II veterans, and they too can be proud of the accomplishment we made at the Métis National Council. So enjoy the video, and there's a number you can contact if you want to add information or share or tell us that you may have found another veteran that has been left out that we missed. Thank you very much. Hello everybody, my name is David Chartrand. I am the Vice President of the Métis National Council and the Minister of Veterans Affairs for the Métis Nation. Let me start off by thanking all the staff that worked together to initiate this website portal for Veterans Affairs. Of course, World War II veterans have been paramount in a passage that we've been moving forward for the last 20 years. For the last 20 years, I've been working diligently to try to seek justice for our veterans. And of course, people may, just for information's sake, for people watching, World War II veterans that went to war all volunteered in Canada, and they went by the thousands and tens of thousands. And we know that the Indigenous young men and women, boys and girls I'll call them, actually that ventured off to fight for Canada, even though there's still strong discrimination in Canada, went overseas to fight for a country in a world they did not even know. But doing so, they were promised something. Upon your return, we'll give you an economic head start. We'll rebuild your life if you come home alive. And they did. Some came home, many didn't come home. But the ones that came home didn't realize discrimination they left was still waiting for them when they got home. They were actually told, there's nothing here for you, go back to your trap lines, go back where you come from, go back to your fishing, there's nothing here for you. And it was such an insult that I saw with my own eyes through the last 20 years, many of the veterans cry in front of me of the shame they felt by how they were being treated by this country. So we were pursuing now for the last 20 years justice. And let me tell you, we are fortunate to find we finally got justice. The First Nation were fortunate. I commend the First Nations. In 2002, they got a settlement because they were treated the same way as we were. But Canada kept on denying that the Métis were not treated in a discriminatory practice, which we showed guaranteed with strong evidence that the Métis were truly discriminated upon, like First Nations, upon their return. So two things were very, very important to our veterans. One was the compensation that was made by Canada to the First Nations. They all got $20,000 each. But let me tell you something that's important to me as a leader. That wasn't their number one priority for our veterans. The number one priority was they wanted an apology why this country would do that to them after they're willing to give the ultimate sacrifice their lives. They wanted that apology. We did get that apology from Minister Macaulay on behalf of the Prime Minister and on behalf of the federal government of Canada. So I'm very, very proud of our country. Even though it took 75 years, they still came to do the right thing. Now we're working on venturing to do the settlements in the same compassion as the First Nations. We've been going across this Western country and Western Canada to find our veterans. And so far we only found 20 that are still living. All of them, of course, in their late 90s, some over 100. We even found one in England, and we tracked him down, and we flew to England and gave him his check for $20,000, and he was so proud to receive it. And as we move forward, we're still searching desperately. As I said, we only found 20, but there's more out there. We potentially have 2 more that we've been advised of. So we're telling people, if you know of a veteran that's out there, there's a number here. Call this number. There's an extension. At the same time, there's a website that you can actually go into and tell us if that veteran's in a personal care home, in a community somewhere, If you know of World War II veteran men and women that are out there right now that do not realize that this settlement is there for them, please contact us. We'll do our best to quickly get down there to make sure they get their $20,000. We're working now on our second initiative. Our second initiative is that we will also compensate the families. We call this an inheritance. We will compensate the families. If the veteran died from January 1st, 2016 forward, and they're no longer here, but if the wife is alive, we will give it directly to the wife. If the wife is not alive, we will give it directly equally to the children of the veteran. So we are going to commence that process. It was supposed to be April 1st. That was supposed to kick in. But unfortunately, we know COVID has now entered our world. And this virus is having a direct effect on some of the services we're doing. We're still moving forward. We're still trying to figure out how do we proceed ahead. For example, we just found a veteran in Selkirk. I could not give him the check personally. We are still looking at doing a video with that veteran and all veterans. In fact, Kizik and Company will be doing a video for a national message that will become for every living veteran we find for World War II. We're going to compile their message so we can educate our people, educate our country about the important role these veterans played and still play today in our country and our community. So we are moving on two fronts. One, finding every veteran alive, try to give them their $20,000 before they leave this world. Secondly, if the veteran died from January 1st, 2016 forward, we will give it to the wife and partner. If not, then we'll give it to the children in equal form. But we're also going to do consultations. There's still, of course, money that will be put into an investment. We negotiated $30 million with Canada, and so we will put in quite a vast amount of the money into an investment pool where people can still tap into it and use it, but it will be only for World War II veterans. But I'll come back in the future and tell you about how that program will work. Right now, that's being put on hold because consultations can't occur because of COVID. So keep into our website, keep yourself posted, and you'll get to see what's going on for the veterans. But again, on behalf of our National President, Clement Chartrand, on behalf of all of our cabinet, I want to say thank you very much for believing in the Métis National Council, and we'll continue to do our best to make sure we get the job done. Thank you very much.